Hey there, welcome back to Soul Grow. You ever get the feeling that we live in an overly critical, sarcastic, sometimes mean culture with each other? Like, people are always offended, frustrated, especially on social media. I don't know if social media is part of the problem, but it's just around us all the time, a lot of negativity. Well, today you are in for a treat. I want to share with you what I believe is the #1 skill for working with people. And I don't have it naturally, I really had to work on it. But when I did, it improved every relationship that I had. And I just want to start off this little lesson by telling you a story about a time that I had to put it into practice. You see, this last Christmas, I had the idea that I did not want to buy any Christmas presents. I want to make them. And I'm not a creative person. But for my brother, we're both into cornhole, and I was going to make him 2 cornhole boards. And so I went to the local Home Depot, and I could not find anybody back in the lumber section to cut the wood for me. So I'm walking all over the store. About 5 or 10 minutes later, I found a guy. We start walking back to lumber, but by the time we got back there were 2 other guys in line getting their lumber cut. And they had a lot of stuff. I'm thinking, oh. So I'm about 20 minutes in, I'm waiting in line at this point, looking at my phone, just looking at my Facebook news feed. And this guy, I'm not even paying attention, this guy walks up and cuts me off in line with a bunch of lumber. And I look up at him, and he's wearing a business suit, shirt and tie. He's on his phone messing around. And I could feel my blood pressure rise. Like, you ever just feel like this vein bulging on the side of your head? And I was so angry that this guy just ignored me, cut me off in line, and I'm staring at the back of this guy's head. And the thought crosses my mind, assume the best about this guy. Maybe he didn't see you in line, maybe he's just having a bad day. Don't make a scene out of this. And I'm thinking this thought, and like 10 or 15 seconds later, I see the guy look down at his phone, and his shoulders slump. And he turns around and looks at me, and he walks right over and puts his hand, I'm not even lying, he puts his hand on my shoulder and goes, "Man, I am so sorry. I've had such a crazy day. I missed you in line. I didn't know you were behind me. Would you mind going back in line?" And he gives me my spot back, and he apologizes to me. And I was like, wow, man, like 20 seconds ago I wanted to punch you in the face, you know what I mean? And here's the truth. You'll never go wrong assuming the best about people. Because you know what? Sometimes you're gonna get burned by people. Every day, people will give you an opportunity to be offended. They're gonna say things, they're gonna post things on social media, people are gonna cut you off in traffic, people really close to you are gonna hurt you. And every day you have the opportunity for offense. But if you suspend that, and in those moments, you just assume the best about those people, it might not change them, but I promise it'll change you. Because you know what? I've found in my life that what I assume about people affects how I treat them. And if I'm negative about somebody or just dwelling on negative things about them, I'm gonna treat them badly. But if I can assume the best about people, I'm gonna treat them better, and then they're gonna treat me better in return. And maybe this is the nature of all racism and sexism and all the things that are wrong in this world, is the assumptions that we have about people. And I love this quote. This is one of my favorite quotes. It's from Mr. Rogers. He had this quote in his wallet he kept with him all times. And the quote said, "There's nobody that you couldn't love if you knew their story." And in the nature of that quote is this idea of assuming the best about people, because we just don't know sometimes. And I promise you, if you go through your daily life and in every situation where you could be offended or could be angry, you assume the best in those moments. And even when you're not angry, assume the best about people. It's going to drastically affect your relationships. Forgive your exes. Forgive people that wronged you. The Bible says pray for people that have hurt you. Man, and it does that. It changes the way we think about people. So I just want to leave you with this quote today. Assume the best about people, and watch how it changes your life. I love you guys. We'll see you next time here on Soul Grow.